So as parents get ready to send their kids back to school, there's not only concern about the masks and how kids will be taught, there are also worries about who will be teaching them.
Yeah, and whether there will be any teacher shortages. News 6 investigator Maris Badcock is crunching the numbers tonight. Maris.
Well, I reached out to every single district in our area for the number of unfilled teaching positions they had on hand. I found out quickly these numbers are changing constantly, but every district saw a decrease in vacancies as they rushed to hire more teachers in time for the start of school.
Do I even come back into the classroom?
You see those classrooms emptying.
It's a simple math problem.
Our district is bleeding teachers.
That isn't solved in a classroom.
But if there are no teachers in that room,
A shortage
you don't have a school.
of teachers.
We were having teacher shortage problems in 2019.
Correct.
So how has it changed from then to now?
I think it's gotten a lot worse.
Andrew Spar has been a teacher since 1994. He's now the president of the Florida Education Association, the state's largest association of professional employees.
In 2019, we were talking about the school year starting with about 4,000 or 5,000 teachers needed, and now we think that number is going to be closer to 10,000.
If Florida employs roughly 200,000 teachers, Spar's estimate of 10,000 teaching vacancies means roughly 5% of teaching positions are going unfilled. But is that the case here in Central Florida? We checked with all of our local districts who provided us with their individual vacancy numbers in the weeks leading up to school. At last check, Seminole, Sumter, Orange, and Lake had to hire roughly 1% or less of their entire teaching staff. Brevard, Volusia, Marion, and Flagler still needed to hire roughly 2% of their teaching staff. The largest vacancy rate? Osceola County, mirroring the statewide predictions, still needed to hire more than 5% of their teaching staff. A shortage Osceola County Superintendent Deborah Pace is already on top of.
We do still have some instructional vacancies, but we'll be using other certified personnel to make sure that we start the school year with teachers in every classroom.
Part of the reason districts are struggling to put teachers in every classroom is because, according to SPAR, not enough people want to be teachers. Just look to the University of South Florida, which recently considered closing its College of Education after dwindling enrollment. But even if people are becoming teachers, they aren't staying teachers.
I was always a big believer in philanthropy, and I feel like being a teacher, you're a philanthropist.
Serdwick St. Pierre taught in Orange County for just 1 year, from 2020 to 2021, before deciding his future as a teacher wasn't going to give back to him as much as he was being asked to give.
I just felt like it wasn't about education, it was about performance. It wasn't really about the students, it was about we need these numbers to look like this so we can get this and get that.
When I show up to school on the first day, is there going to be a teacher in my classroom?
It's very possible that some parents will bring their kids to schools and their students will be in classrooms with substitute teachers.
It's possible districts have hired even more teachers since they last gave us their vacancy numbers. Everyone said they are prepared to fill gaps with substitutes if needed.
Okay, well, that's a whole other bag of issues, right? What about those substitutes? We've seen a lot of issues of people hiring just regular workers. Are they struggling to fill these substitute positions?
That's actually a really good question. I reached out to Kelly Services. They're the group that contracts subs for many of our districts in our coverage area. They said they actually have plenty of subs. For example, in Orange County, they have a pool of roughly 2,500 substitute teachers.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not a sub if that person is there all year long. Now they're just filling that gap. Yeah, but
to be continued.
Yeah. All right, Maris, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yes.